Hey guys, welcome back to my channel if you're new here. Thanks for tuning in. Today we are going to be doing a wear test and review on the e.l.f. Camo CC Cream Foundation that just came out. If you guys know anything on my channel, I'm obsessed with e.l.f. and always do new makeup hauls, try-ons, everything with e.l.f. So it shouldn't be a surprise that I'm doing this. Just so you guys have a little information here, the retails for $14. There are 20 shades. It's vegan, cruelty-free. It has 30 SPF. There's 1.05 fluid ounces in here, so pretty standard. If you're not familiar with CC creams, basically that stands for color correcting. Whether or not that truly color corrects, I'm probably not the best person because I don't do much color correcting. But I should probably address the obvious that this looks a lot like the It Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC cream, and I have used that in the past. I was actually in my project pan last year and I finished up an entire bottle of it, and I really love that a lot. It's such a good CC cream that gave like a beautiful like natural finish, and this one looks exactly like it basically. I don't have the old one anymore obviously because I finished it up, but I am interested to see how this compares to it because I do remember what it was like using that one and I loved it a lot. So we will see how this compares. Briefly, it's mostly just going to be about this foundation. I'm not going to be like make this a whole comparison because obviously I don't have that one to show you guys. A few other things about this are that it has hydrating youth boosting ingredients known to improve texture and tone. It's got collagen for skin elasticity, hyaluronic acid for hydration, niacinamide for brightening and evening skin tone, and peptides to refresh the complexion. It says it's a full coverage or medium to full. It says on the website it's medium to full coverage natural finish. I am very fair, you guys, so I bought the lightest shade they offer, which is 120N, which stands for neutral. I lean toward more neutral tones. They do have some other undertones on their websites, but let's see what this looks like. I haven't even pumped it. Oh, that was fast. This is the first time that I've seen it. It does look quite light. I think that's gonna work for me. Yeah, I definitely think that will be good, which is exciting. Definitely looks full coverage. Like, wow, it's covering up a lot on my hand there. I am going to be doing a wear test as well, guys. So I'm going to put it on and then I will check back in throughout the day and tell you guys how it's wearing, and then also do a final check-in at the end of the day. It's already 2:15 p.m. I would show you, but my phone just literally died. Like the screen stopped working, so I can't really like hold it up to this anymore, but it's 2:15 p.m. and I should be able to get it close to 12 hours. That's 2 a.m. Definitely at least 10. I know I'll at least get 10. Oh, last thing important I feel like you guys need to know is I have very dry skin. So anything that is hydrating or a natural finish is usually perfect for me. So I very recently just did a try on and big haul of e.l.f. Cosmetics. If you want to see it, I'll put it here in the iCard. And I got the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. So I'm going to use this to prime the face. Whoa. It literally just squirted everywhere. Oh my god. It's a very like sticky kind of base. And it smells like watermelon, which is so nice. But it's very sticky kind of base. Like a gripping kind of primer, you know? Alright, as usual, brush on one side, sponge on the other. This is from e.l.f. This is the Buffing Foundation Brush. This is a Shop Miss A sponge. It's like my favorite sponge in the entire world. So I'm gonna use that on this side and I'm gonna use a brush on this side. I'm gonna do one pump for each side. I'm actually gonna do sponge on this side and brush on that side. I don't know why, I just feel like that's what I usually do. It literally doesn't matter. Okay, right away, coverage is there. Okay, I think we're at like a medium coverage right now. With the sponge and with one pump, and it looks really good. Oh man, you guys, this looks amazing. Like for me personally, this coverage right here, this is perfect for me. This is all I need and want. And you kind of have like a little bit of you see the naturalness of it where it kind of looks a little glowy in a way. It's not like dewy by any means. You just have like, it just looks really natural. Wow, that looks really good, you guys. Like you can definitely see like the difference here. That looks amazing. Let's do the brush. And again, just one pump. I definitely have more coverage on the side with the brush, but I much prefer the way that the finish looks with the sponge. It looks much more natural, and on my dry skin, it looks kind of like it's clinging on my dry skin, whereas on the natural side, it just looks like skin. Hopefully you guys are able to like see what I mean? I don't know. It's kind of hard to show on camera sometimes, but this just looks so much more natural. I think my forehead is usually like the best example for this, where it kind of just like looks like I have more like dryness and texture. On this side, it's just smooth. I don't know if you guys can tell. That's honestly pretty typical for me when it comes to foundation. I like to use a brush sometimes as it's faster, but I always prefer the finish of a sponge. It just, to me, it always just looks better. I'm gonna do one more pump with the sponge, but I am gonna go over my whole face this time so I can kind of make the whole finish everywhere look the same. The only reason why I ever do the brush versus sponge thing is just to see like the coverage and foundation and how the finish looks versus each other. I'm really liking this so far, you guys. It looks really, really fantastic and super natural. Like, I love the way this looks. It's really lightweight, super comfortable. I don't even feel like I'm wearing foundation at all. Like, even when I touch my skin, like, it's starting to dry down. I definitely feel like this is something that you could get away with not powdering if you don't like to use powder. The only place that I really have an issue on my face that I feel like is my nose. But I also, again, like, it's rare for me to find a foundation that it doesn't look kind of weird looking on the creases of my nose, just because I have really deep creases, and especially like around my nose ring. My nose ring area is always super, super dry looking. It's the only place that I would say it's looking a little bit off, but it really doesn't bother me. At least not too much, because I've just gotten used to it. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Camo Hydrating Concealer from E.l.f. to do my under eyes. Okay, now that my whole face is like evened out with concealer and everything, here, you guys, is what we are looking like. Super natural, like I've said a million times. I have lines on my forehead, so we will see how those do throughout the day. I feel like from sitting here already, it's definitely kind of sinking, but I'm not really surprised. My lines are getting deeper and deeper. You know, that's what age does to you. Fun. We'll see if they get really bad throughout the day, I guess. But yeah, here we go. I'm liking it so far. It looks incredible. Okay, as far as setting it down, I'm going to just set down this side of my face, and we'll leave this side not set down so we can see throughout the day if there's any differences, if it elongated it, or if you don't really need to set it down, you know. I'm using the E.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder. I don't love setting my face a whole lot, but you know, for this video, I definitely want to check to see how it does for people who like to set their face. You can definitely see like this one is not set versus this way. I wouldn't say I'm like totally matte, but it definitely is like not as fresh looking, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna finish up the rest of my face makeup, and yeah, let me go ahead and do that. Alrighty guys, so makeup is completely finished. We're gonna see how this wears throughout the day. I'm loving it so far. It looks so good. I will say that when I was applying blush and bronzer and those kinds of things, I feel like this is so weird, and I feel like it's the opposite. I feel like it was better on the side that I didn't set down with powder, and that's mostly because I feel like it was able to kind of stick to the foundation in a way where it gave me a little bit more pigmentation, but still blend pretty good for not being able to set it down. Whereas where I powdered it on this side, I had to build it up a lot more, and I feel like it still didn't look as quite as like pigmented, you know? It doesn't look bad on this side. It blended great. Like everything's great on this side. I just feel like the pigment, I was able to get a little bit more pigmentation, which makes sense because it's not rubbing on top of the powder, you know? It's kind of just goes straight on top. But that's good news, you know, like that means that either way it works. And I really am loving the way that this looks. It looks so good and so natural and beautiful. I didn't set my face with any setting spray or anything, just because I don't want to like really alter the foundation too much. Typically I would. I do feel like I like an even dewier look than this. Even like this right now is kind of just natural, but I like a very dewy look. So I would normally do that to make it look even more dewy. I'm literally repeating myself, but I didn't for the sake of the review. Anyways, this is what it's looking like. It looks good so far. Hopefully it doesn't cling onto dry patches or anything throughout the day. And if it does fade, if it's good, I don't know. We will see how it does. I will see you guys very soon. Hey guys, I kind of messed up here and I forgot that I had plans to go to my friend's house and we're gonna do face mask and stuff. So I chose a terrible day to do this foundation review, but we're gonna call this first impression, and I'll do this again tomorrow. So tomorrow we will pick up wear at the beginning of the day where I put my makeup on, and then we'll do a final check-in at the end of tomorrow. So it's kind of like a 2-day wear test in a way, but tomorrow will be the longer wear test. Right now it is about 7:30 p.m. So I've only been wearing this for about 5 hours, but from the 5 hours that I have been wearing it, it looks okay. But I do have to say, I don't love it as much as I did when I first put it on. It's starting to get dry, and like, do you see on my nose, it's breaking up a little bit. It's just starting to look dry already, even though I've only had it on for like 5 hours. So I'm a little concerned. I am a little concerned. I think I'll be able to do better at this tomorrow. So yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow morning when I put my foundation on. We'll do a wear test, and then yes, I'll give you guys my final thoughts. Hey guys, I know there's an audio change here because I don't have my mic on, but here is day 2 of the wear test for the E.l.f. Camo CC Cream. I just put it on about an hour ago. Around like 3 p.m. is pretty much when I had it finished up. And I just, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys what it's looking like. It looks really good, really nice, really natural. I'm really enjoying it so far. We'll have to see if it does the dry thing like it did the first time I wore it. Let me give you guys a better close-up. Let me fix the lighting. Here is what we're looking like. It doesn't look dry or anything right now. My nose looks really good. I also really moisturize is really good, so maybe we'll see if that helped with the dryness. As far as applying it a second time, applied just as good as the first time. I really like it. Everything seems okay, so I will give you guys my final update at the end of the day. I'm gonna be up really late. Like I said, I'm a late night person, so I should get a solid 10 hours of wear onto this thing, and I will let you guys know how it's going. So yeah. Alrighty, you guys, let's give this foundation its final check-in and thoughts from me. I think it did a really good job for a $14 CC cream foundation, but I will say that it does look kind of dry still. I mean, I moisturized really well last night and this morning before I put my makeup on. So my face was pretty much at peak hydration, and it still looks it just looks like dry and textured. Even though my skin's not really dry, it's just like the way that it kind of sat on the face. Like, this is kind of how it settled down to looking like this. It definitely gets like in your creases and doesn't look the greatest there, which that's pretty typical, but I feel like it looks pretty bad as far as like creases go. I did crease on my smile lines. You can see that, which I don't have super deep set smile lines, but that does happen to me sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes it does. Also in my forehead lines, not too much as there, but it definitely appears well. But I do feel like it's kind of like all over my face still. Like, it didn't really particularly fade really strongly. Like, I can still see it on my face. After a while, it looks more dry, whereas usually when I wear a foundation, my oils start to kind of come through a little bit more and it doesn't look as dry. Even when I'm wearing a matte foundation, I feel like as I wear it longer, it ends up looking better. It's kind of weird that, like, I feel like this looks better when you first apply it for sure. I mean, most foundations do, but it just, I don't know, the way it settles is just kind of weird. Like it just makes my skin look kind of like weird and cakey almost looking, even though it didn't look cakey when I applied it. And I know my skin underneath it is not like super dry or anything right now, so it's a little weird. Like, I do like it, but I don't like absolutely love it. It's definitely not my favorite thing that I've ever tried, and there are some really good drugstore foundations out there. Of course, this is a CC cream, so there's like, for me, CC creams have the big benefit of having the SPF in there, which I think is great for the summertime. So I definitely think I'm going to be trying this out in the summertime more, especially since my skin is definitely not as dry in the summertime. So I do think this would be a good like summertime foundation. I feel like that's slightly long wearing just because of the fact that I still have the coverage everywhere. It didn't really like fade too much, even though I know I touched my face quite a bit. I touch my face a lot. Like, I'm a face toucher kind of person. I mean, overall, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I think that if you're interested in trying it, you're not out too much since it's only the $14. But I'm not like raving about it at all whatsoever. Like, I'm not saying go get it and try it now, you know? I feel like if you don't have dry skin, it probably wears a little bit better. I think you have to be like pretty normal skin for this. Like, I'm not so sure about super oily, and I don't know about super dry. So like, maybe if you're somewhere in the middle, this might be like a really good thing for you. But as far as me and my dry skin, I just don't like the way that it makes my skin look all like textury and weird. Also, going back to the whole It Cosmetics versus this, I really don't think that the wear is the same on them. I did just use it last year and I really love that foundation, and I never felt like it was weird or anything, but I never did a super close-up look either. But I feel it is different, and I do think that one is better. Again, big price point difference here though. So like, if you want to try a CC cream, I think this could be a good option, but I do think the It Cosmetics one is better as far as the formula goes. However, e.l.f. has a better shade range. So that's up to you. So hopefully you guys found my thoughts helpful, and it found this like informational if you're looking to purchase this, or you found it entertaining if you're just wanting something to watch. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. If you're not already, I would really appreciate if you considered subscribing to my channel. I do tons of makeup reviews, so if you like this video, you may enjoy some of my other content. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
I just don't want this moment to end.